He's all yours.
Thought you'd be dead by now.
You will be before the night's over. Man, you look bad. Now how this feel?
Once again, happy Thursday, October 22nd. I am your host, AJ Rage, and this is Mayhem in the Morning. Shocking result over the weekend. Vasily Lomachenko lost his titles to Teofimo Lopez, and I'll be honest with you, it's a very humbling aspect for me, and I can admit when I'm wrong. I didn't see anything that Lopez was going to bring to the table that Vasily had to worry about, but it was a weird night. Teofimo also showed that he's deceptible. Vasily is by no means what I would consider a power puncher. He's a small guy for the division, and being the fact that there's rumors out there right now that he had a shoulder injury going into this fight, and we'll talk about that in a moment, it kind of takes away a little bit of the shine, at least in my eyes, of Lopez's victory. Lopez was visibly hurt in moments later in the fight and stuff. Julie Letterman, her card was atrocious once again. How this woman still is in boxing, I have absolutely no idea. She needs to be removed. She's a criminal. I don't know. Every time Bob Arum puts her in a situation like this, she does this. And, you know, Bob's got to realize, I mean, what is Bob, like 200 years old? When is he going to wake up and realize that, you know, it doesn't look good for your promotion? If you put all this hard work into something, and no matter what the result of the fight is, you know, you have that much of a disparity where it basically looks like, I would love to, here's what I'm thinking. Let's put her in a room and have her watch the fight along with 3 other experts. They could be judges or they could be fighters, whatever. And I want her to explain her card round by round and what she's seen. Maybe she's seen something I don't, but I will guarantee you it's just not there. You know, she's incompetent. And I hate to say, you know, and I don't want to, cast bad stuff, you know, with her father, Harold, but, you know, he was another guy that his opinion meant absolutely nothing to me. He never got the results right. You know, he just blabbed about, you know, this and that. And it's like, you know, the guy was like an optometrist or something, you know. Just because you know how to fix people's vision doesn't mean you know how to assess a boxing match. It's stupid, you know. So, I don't know. She needs to go. End of story. So, what happens is Lomachenko comes out there, and it's a weird thing going on. He's not getting hurt by Lopez. He's just kind of moving around, doing his thing, whatever. I don't know if he had a flashback of his Ukrainian dance episodes or whatever, but, you know, it just, you know, at one point, I think there was one round. I want to say it was maybe I know it definitely could have been the first, second, or third, one of those rounds. He literally threw 3 punches, and they weren't even punches. And, I mean, his angles weren't there. I mean, I was trying to tell myself, you know, did Vasily get old overnight? You know, sometimes where a fighter can't pull the trigger? Or is Lopez that good? No, Lopez isn't that good. It's easy to win a fight when you got a guy not throwing punches. And that's not Vasily Lomachenko. It wasn't the size. It wasn't the punching power. He couldn't hurt Vasily. He doesn't have this monstrous punch power like I told everybody. You know? So does that mean Linares is a harder hitter than Teofimo because he dropped Vasily? Because at no point did I ever think that Lopez was going to drop Vasily. You know, say what you want, but, you know, it is what it is. And, of course, now we got to deal with the Lopez clan.
Oh, he lost. Get the hell out of here. How you gonna do? It's a blowout. It's a blowout.
That says it all. That's what it is, man. Yo, Junior, go have another beer, right? The truth is, I think they're a black eye in the world of boxing. Junior Lopez is a disrespectful, big mouth. This says it all.
You know, and it was just it was a freaking clinic, baby. It was a clinic.
I think Junior got confused and thought somebody was asking for directions, to the free clinic. I don't know.
When I had my first beer.
That's so funny. Last time I heard that, I laughed so hard I fell off my dinosaur.
Stop.
To hear him. Oh, what was that again?
Chump don't want to help. Chump don't get the help.
Yeah, I think at this point you need to cut Junior off. So let's get back to seriousness now. I mean, let's be serious. All Junior really does is cast insults towards fighters like Devin Haney. I saw Ryan Garcia stepped up the other day and posted a thing about Teofimo Lopez, says, let me know when. I mean, no one's going to run from Teofimo Lopez. Because at the end of the day, real fighters are going to look at it and go, Lomachenko was a great champion. But for some reason, he decided to do this. This was his game plan. I think he came into the fight thinking, take on the storm in the beginning and stuff and take him into deep waters and let's see what happens. Well, I hate to say it, but I know they say his dad, Papachenko, is this amazing trainer, but I'm going to tell you now, it was not a good night for Papachenko. I don't know what he was thinking. He was just, at some point, he had to wake his son up. And I understand the fight got closer. I went back and I watched the fight again and stuff, and, I could have scored it a draw. But it's just so hard. So hard. To just watch Vasily and his total, disregard for his output. I just don't know what him and his corner were thinking. It's... So now there's a report out there that, once again, Vasily, I guess he had some shoulder surgery done on Monday, and they're saying that he had to take a cortisone shot to his shoulder prior to the fight. And you know what I say? Oh, well, it's your fault. You went on with the fight. I don't want to hear about it. If you went into that fight damaged goods, if you went into that fight knowing you weren't 100%, all you did at the end of the day, because you didn't want to let Bob Arum down, you didn't want to let the fans down, well, you know what? You let yourself down. And you damaged your legacy. And you allowed this big mouth punk Lopez, who's going to walk around and he's going to bash you at every moment. Every chance he gets, him and his dad. That's what they do. There was another aspect, too, where I actually started to think to myself, like, what's the problem here? I didn't know anything about the shoulder injury. That came later on. But it was the demeanor of Vasily's dad. And the fact that he was just so calm. And I know he's a very calm, whatever person by nature. But this is boxing. You want to be... At some point, you have to wake up and realize you're in a fight. And stop with this bullshit. Because I'm starting to see this becoming a trend. And I saw it in the Barboza fight. Listen, guys. You can come up with new methods in which to train your fighter. Some of them might work. Some of them might not. But when you're at this level, on this night, it's not a time to experiment. There was nothing that Vasily had to do any different that he had done in other fights, in previous fights, on this night. And for some reason, they changed their game plan. And it was a horrible game plan in the sense that it didn't work. At some point, his father had needed to step up and, and kind of get maybe under his son's skin and say, hey, we need to wake up. We need to get some punches going. Nothing. He just kept telling Vasily, throw combinations. But he wasn't reading Lopez. And that was the problem. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be a big mouth like Junior, because everything that Junior's telling Teofimo, is probably going right in one ear and right out the other. Like I said, so now they're talking about the rematch. Well, shame on Team Lomachenko. I hate to say it, man, and I love Vasily, man. But his manager's got to be the biggest bonehead in the goddamn world. And how his father let this happen, or how Vasily let this happen, that there was no rematch clause.
What the hell were you thinking?
He was the A side. He had leverage within his negotiating. And you don't call for a rematch clause? Are you kidding me? And now you're going to ask for one? And of course Lopez and his dad are going to be like, nah, we're not going to give you another shot. And guess what? They're within their rights. So now you got a torn up shoulder. You lost your title to a big mouth. You got no rematch. So where do you go now? I don't know. The shine's gone. I hate to say it. He can drop weight and fight Burchell and do some other things, whatever. But he's not going to be held in that regard anymore. I'm still going to respect him as a fighter. But the future prospects, as far as what's out there, who knows? Especially at Vasili's age. Where he goes from here. In the situation for Teofimo Lopez, I think he's going to be a guy that's not going to stick around very long. Kind of like that scene from Braveheart, when the Queen tells the King,
"Your son will not sit long on the throne, I swear it."
He's not going to sit long at the throne. He's going to get knocked out or beat by somebody here real soon as he gets in there with a decent fighter. Teofimo showed, that he could be hurt. He's very